Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. This is of course the show that takes a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby, and of course we add on all the bells and whistles where we talk about women's rugby, junior rugby, and of course under 20 rugby. Folks, of course big thanks to our partners on board with us. Score Energy Drinks, you'll know that they're on board with Western Province Club Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens, MChem 24-hour pharmacy, and of course Thorburn Security Solutions. Folks, we've got a nice full show for you this evening. We'll again, as we always do, catch up with the DHL Western Province Rugby Women's squad, and we interview them behind the scenes. Today we'll be catching up with player Donnell Snyders and Vuyo Kolo, as well as team doctor Natima Isaacs. You would have seen her on the side of the field. They had a solid win over the weekend against the Sharks. It was a tough game, down to the wire, but a great result. We'll also go down to Franschhoek as they played their match against Lower Paarl. We'll take a look at the match, some of the match highlights, a couple of really fantastic interviews there, and of course, as we know, some of the friendlies are back on the cards, but of course, all according to very strict health and safety protocols. And as you know, we go down to, on a regular basis, to take a look at what's happening at training. And this week, it was our opportunity to go down to Collegians Rugby Football Club, where we catch up with some of the players as well as assistant coach Amin Harifdin. And of course, our weekly catch up then, as we've now started to build in, where we catch up with Donnell Rousseau, the DHL Western Province Rugby Women's team manager. This is of course, as I mentioned, after their big win. And back on the show this week, Jerome Parvar to tell us what's happening with the under-20s. But on the first segment for us then, it's the DHL Western Province Rugby Women's squad behind the scenes, as of course they come off that solid result against the Sharks this past weekend.
Yeah, it was really exciting to be back on the field again after a whole year without any rugby, because some of us or some of the ladies, rugby or the field is a happy place for them. So we're very excited to have opportunity to play again. Yeah, I think before we played this last game, the ladies are so relaxed because we have that mentality that we're the champs and we're still gonna remain being the champions. So yeah, each and every game we always know what to do, and then we also know that we're gonna win everything. The weather that we played on that side also did affect us, and then after even if before we go, everything is on a rush. On the Fridays when we went there, and then there is this rush for captain's run, and then there's not enough time to rest or something. Yes, I think it did, because we also saw the score, the last Sharks score against Border, and then we compared to our last score, our last game against Ip, and then we saw we're gonna do more, and we're expecting to do more, like to beat them more than 100 or something. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be an easy game. So that mentality we had with other games that we relax or something. So we have to start to switch on before we even go to on Saturday.
is baie different, ja, van het stel voor ook uit hier so op die veld, koos waar is nou seniors en by die juniors is dit 'n bietjie ligter. So is baie taaf. Het was baie excited want toe ek op by die veld aankom en toe was ek excited en ek was ook bly want was eerste game senior dat ek op Nieuweland speel en toe Horizon score en ek was baie excited en trots op myself. Ja, ons sien baie uit, maar ons sal net ons beste moet doen en ons weet ons kan dit doen en ons kan vervordering.
been a long time since 2019, and we've got a lot of the junior players that have made it to the senior team now, so that's very exciting for women's rugby. And yeah, we've got a double round of matches, so that's a new thing to the tournament as well. Yeah, so everyone's been very excited. Obviously we're in the last matches coming up now of the first round, so, and it's quite a tough match for us against Border on Saturday, so yeah, everyone's looking forward to it. So already in the first game there was 2 injuries, so we're in those stages now of rehabilitation, and then after that it's return to play. So that's where we are with the first game, and then obviously with you know, the girls, there's no break, so it's literally match, 2 days, 3 days of training, second match, and it's involving traveling or home games, but it's like every week there's literally no time to rest. So with certain players we've obviously had to rest them because they've played now 4 or 5 games already, and some of them for the full game. So, and then there's also players that have returned from injury as well, so yeah. Yeah, so I work closely with the physio, so we check the players after each match, and then obviously by Monday we have to make a decision, or latest Tuesday, but literally by Monday evening we have to know who's ready to play and who's not. So it's important for the coaches to know who to select, and it's for player welfare because you can't play with the injured player, so they need to go through their rehab, all of that. So it's quite time consuming, and ensuring that everyone's fit for that day. And we've got COVID now as well, so we have to have regular testing every week, and obviously maintain all those protocols during training and matches and everything. So this is where their life is orientated around. You know, it's rugby, it's you know, and Western Province have made a huge contribution towards women's rugby, especially this year. So it's very competitive, and yeah, the girls are giving it all they've got, and yeah, so it's just, yeah, we're just preparing now for the match now this weekend, and then going forward, yeah, it's an exciting tournament, and I'm grateful for everyone that's contributed to the tournament so far. Yes, it's really nice to see the progression. So I've worked with some of the girls in the junior teams, and when they've done tournaments and stuff, and it's amazing to see the names of Donald Snyders and Alicia Aris and many other players that I've been involved with being in the senior team, and it's amazing to see how they've coped with it. I mean, this is their first year and they're giving it their all, and they've done really well, so I'm really proud of all of them. And it's great for Western Province because you can really see how much work they've put into the training and into the women's rugby. I mean, we've got a huge team that's backing us. When it comes to the medical team, I mean, it's myself, Melissa, the physio, it's Brandon involved as well, and then we've got Jongi, Lorian, Labib, Jerome, and Wilfred, and then we've got the backing of Mr. Jones and South, and so everyone's come to the party to do the best we can for the girls and give them the best we can, and yeah, for the tournament. So it's amazing to be a part of all of this.
Yeah, so a big result then for the for the DHL Western Province Rugby side, and of course staying positive. They've got a couple of players, in fact, coming back now. Danelle and Varushka join them, of course, at fullback and at wing, respectively. But stick around. We'll also be catching up with Daniel Rousseau, the team manager, a little bit later in the show, so don't go away. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll take a look at some of the highlights in the friendly between Franschhoek and Lower Paarl.